Osimhen is trash.
We do.
All these Chelsea guys were saying, "Oh, we want Osimhen, we want Osimhen." Why? Because he got numbers. The guy's a donkey. I said, you man might as well sign back. What's his name that you had before? The other black guy, bruv, because they're the same build, fam. That you let go to flipping Roma. What's the kid's name?
Oh, Lukaku.
No, to Roma. What before him? Tammy Abraham.
Oh, Tammy Abraham, yeah. No, I think
bro,
this thing.
He's just another Tammy Abraham. Osimhen is trash, bruv. And I've been telling, man. And then them man watched him in the AFCON and they're like, hold on, the numbers aren't adding up to the eye test. You know why? Because he's a flat track bully. This guy got nothing about him. And people speak 100 million for Osimhen. Are you crazy? I told man, go get Ivan Toney right now. Forget Ivan Toney's stats, innit? Forget his stats here. You can see with your eyes that outside of Erling Haaland, he's the best striker in the Premier League, and there's no one even close to him. And I would argue that he's better than Erling Haaland. So it's one of them ones where why would you not go and get Ivan Toney? It makes no sense. But the problem is people look at the stats and say, yeah, well, he won this and he did this and he done that. Yeah, all right, cool. But this is where people's going. He's worth 100 million because of stats.
That's the problem. But then people, I appreciate he's a good player. But when people are saying, look at what he's doing in Italy. Exactly. Italy's not even, in my opinion, in terms of quality, Italy's barely a top 5 league. Italian football is awful. I genuinely think, you look at the Premier League, I reckon West Ham would win the Serie A. Comfortably as well, by the way. I'm not talking like by a few points, comfortably. West Ham, Brighton, probably even us, to be honest. Even though we're rubbish at the minute, we'd probably win the Serie A. The quality is awful. But people are like, but oh, look at the numbers they're putting out. Exactly. And then look at every sign that's come from the Serie A recently. How have they done? Every single one. Think about it. None of them have actually delivered. None of them have delivered. You know, and it's a case of like people looking at certain players. I think Vlahovic might be one of the very few who might break that mold. But again, it would take him time to get into that position. Would he do it at the top 6 club? No. You could see he'd probably move like a West Ham or something like that.
That's what I think. Like when people are saying, do I like Vlahovic? I do like him. He's technically very, very good. But I don't think he's a top level player because he don't have the mobility and just I don't know. I think he's not versatile enough, bro. He's the kind of player that if you build a system around him, yeah, he can be a great player in your team. But I don't think he's good enough to build the system around. Do you know what I'm saying? That man saying, let's not do this. Haaland's a monster. Haaland's only a monster inside the box. Do you know what I'm saying? And still, you need to get him the ball inside the box. Ivan Toney gives you something outside the box that Haaland doesn't give you. He also gives you the physicality in terms of how he pins defenders and how he brings his teammates in that Haaland doesn't give you. If you turn around and said Erling's a better finisher, I would agree. But football's not just about finishing. As an all-round player, yeah, Ivan Toney, yeah, is different, bro. He gives you a little bit of everything, innit? Erling Haaland's someone who a system needs to be built around. I could bring in Ivan Toney and I don't need to tell him how to play. I don't need to play to his strengths. If he needs to drop deep, he'll drop deep. If he needs to go long, he'll go long. You saw like the goal the other day that Mopé scored, yeah, he screened and blocked the defender off. Like, do you know what I mean? He can use his body, he can use his brain, he can use his feet. He can do anything. He can adapt to any system. And that's the thing. Players like Vlahovic, players like Haaland and that, you have to play for them.
This is it. I think like Ivan Toney, and another reason he's like that is because he's had to fight to get back to where he is.
And also he's come through the Football League, so he's had to put himself about. Like he knows how to rough it out if he needs to rough it out.
Yeah, this is it. This is it. And I think like people talk about, oh, we only had 10 outfield goals. I don't care. He scored 20 goals last season. Cool, 10 with penalties.
And also, he's playing for a team that are currently fighting relegation, bro.
Thank you. This is it. It's like, but yeah, this is, oh, well, he's not this, he's not that. He's 27. Oh, it's not that. Should I tell you one thing that really annoys me when people talk about English tax, right? There's a reason why English players right now around the world are valued and touted so highly. Because the quality of English footballer right now is far better than most out there. It's, I'd say right now, it's the equivalent of when Spain won the Euros and won the World Cup. Spanish players were obviously more highly rated because of their technical ability and their prowess.
Yeah, they were at the top of the game then. They were.
Exactly. Right now, let's be honest. If England didn't have Southgate, I think we'd have won the Euros here. I really do.
I agree.
I think the reason that England aren't winning those major tournaments is because of the manager, not because of the quality of talent. Look at that starting 11. Look at that squad.
Oh, squad-wise,
unbelievable.
England should definitely be winning something. There's
It
no
pushes
two
it.
ways about
It
it. There's
pushes
no
it.
two ways about it. But there's even England have so many good players, yeah, that there's players that aren't even making the England squad
Exactly.
that should be making the England squad. So I agree. I believe that, like, literally, if they get the luck of the draw, which they did in the Euros, they got the luck of the draw and they got the luck of the venue as well, because they were at home for every game bar one, the Hungary game. So with all of that going for England and them still failing to win, Gareth Southgate should have been sacked on the spot. I'll be honest.
Well, this is it. This is it. But then, like we said, football's run by academics now, and people who are kind of tame and timid. Personality in this sport doesn't get you anywhere at the top level anymore, really. And if it does, it's only because you've basically bullied your way to the top. You know, or I think Jurgen Klopp's a good example of that. He is a bit of a bully, but you know, at the same time, you know what? It's worked for him.
No, bro. Sometimes you have to.
This is it, but it's like, I think if you look at Mourinho, you look at sort of, well, actually, no, Mourinho, maybe even Wenger, I think even Fergie. You look at those sort of managers now, they're just not quite at it. In Mourinho's openly admitted it. He's gone, well, players are different now. But peak players are, you know, and I just feel people my age, you know, most of them are just wusses, all of them. Sit behind a screen and talk shit, but they won't actually say it to your face.
Yeah, well, of course, but listen, but this is but here's the thing, though. The thing is, this is all true. However, you can sit there and you can complain about it, yeah, or you can adapt. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if I could easily coach the players of today's generation, these young 21, 23, 24-year-olds, I could easily coach them because I understand the era that we're in. I understand that you can't speak to them the way you used to be able to speak to players maybe 10, 15 years ago. I understand all that. And I don't have a problem with that. I think the main problems is that clubs are not controlling what they can control. Do you know what I'm saying? Because players have social media now. So these players' egos are getting inflated way too early. Do you know what I mean? There's loads of footballers, like Callum Hudson-Odoi and stuff, for example. I was hearing about this kid when he was 14 years old. Do you know what I'm saying? And I was seeing like videos of him online and stuff, and these guys were hyping him up like he was going to be like the next best thing. And it's like these guys have these followings. The other guy, the Amari guy that you lot signed back from Arsenal, he was another one. I've been seeing videos of this guy since he was flipping 8 years old or something like that. And these guys turn out to be nothing. Do you know what I mean? And when I say nothing, I don't mean nothing because they're still gonna have a career in the game. But I mean,
up here, mate. It's because of here.
Well, of course. But I'm saying that clubs could control that. They could control that by not overpaying these kids. Yeah, that you've got kids that are millionaires and they've never played a first team game. Like, do you know what I'm saying? And when you look at other footballers, these men had to have England caps before they got their first £1 million contract. So it's one of them things where football's gone in a certain way that now you have to understand how to manage these guys. They're not motivated by the same things that the players of yesteryear were motivated by. So now, as a manager, you have to adapt the way that you look at them, the way you treat them, yeah, and the way you see the game, and you have to get the best out of them in a different way, innit? And I think that a lot of people are not adapting, bruv.
But then I get that. I get that, but then I do think that the bubble's got to burst at some point. Like, do you remember we had the conversation? Like we were starting off, said like, right, if you had the first team within 5 years, you'd have like maybe an under 18s and under 16s. Would the under 18s, the under 16s be doing like the old football scholarship style things? I remember saying
they're not cleaning boots no more. They're not.
That's what it should be. It should be.
Yeah.
Because I think that if you think about how important that was for the players of, to be honest, the last good generation of football.
Yeah, they were the last good generation of football. You're 100% right.
But it's like, I think, again, like the John Terry thing I was at, he was talking about his relationship with Dennis Wise and Gianluca Vialli, right? So obviously Dennis Wise maybe wasn't, everyone looks at him as just some guy who kicked lumps out of people. But for example, John Terry's leadership abilities, he learned a lot from Dennis Wise. You know, he was saying sort of like how to motivate people.
Dennis Wise was a good captain for you, but as a footballer, I didn't rate him.
Yeah, but then in terms of learning football skills, understanding the game, different things like that, you had Vialli he was looking after. Those players and that connection between the youth setup and the first team is so important. And it's so disjointed now because they're like, I can watch this here. Why would I do this? Why would I do that? But then that's just life in general. I get you could, like, coaching this generation's more difficult than ever because there's so many outside influences and so many things you can't control. And it's kind of a case of finding people. I don't know, like I feel mentally, I feel a lot older than a lot of my peers. Purely, but then, you know, I don't know. Like I just feel that a lot of people I speak to just don't have the same hunger. They don't. They don't want to hit those deliverables. They don't want to do things. It's very much like, we'll take it easy. We'll do this. We'll go home. We'll do that. What we want to do this, but we're too busy on TikTok. We're doing this. We're doing that. Bit of work ethic. I just don't think I sound like a granddad. I really do. But it's like, I do think that a lot of my peers lack a lot of work ethic.
Yeah, but they do.
They don't want to do it themselves.
Why it's the same with these players. But then this is how you got to know how to talk to these guys. You have to find out what motivates them, innit? And that's just what it is. Everyone's motivated by different stuff. I can get anything out of anyone because I just find out what motivates them. And that's just what it is. And that's why a lot of these coaches can't get the best out of these players, is because they've got money anyway. They've got everything anyway. They're guaranteed a career anyway. Because if you get rid of them, they'll go somewhere else that's going to pay them an obscene amount of money. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's just one of them ones where they're not doing it the right way from the very, very, very bottom. And that's just what it is, because a lot of these men, like Rashford, for example, been at the club since 7 years old. He don't know nothing outside of Man United. That's why when he's sulking and he walks around like the world owes him something, it's because he doesn't know any different, bruv. And it's because they've treated him like a superstar since he was a baby, innit? Whereas someone should be sitting him down and saying, listen, mate, respectfully, you ain't that good. You know, like that. So if you don't back up your ideas, you ain't going to be here long. Because there's way more to get out of him than what we're getting out of him. Even his best ever season goals-wise for Man United, bro, I can honestly say I've never seen him play well for 2 or 3 games in a row, bro. Like even when he's getting stats, he's awful, blood. Who's the person getting him on the training ground, getting him to do extra work? Like there's loads of videos of CR7, there's loads of videos of Ian Robin, there's loads of videos of David Beckham and all these guys with a bag of Lampard with 100 footballs and that after training. What are these men doing after training? Going Selfridges, blood.
That's what I don't get. Like that is this. I'm not even talking high level football here. I'm not even talking football. I'm talking life in general, mate. People sort of like they just take it easy now. Like literally, I'm being like, Wally is going to happen. Fuck, bloody Skynet is going to happen. Like it's all of that. It's like AI. Like everyone's getting lazier. Everyone's getting lazier. I've used ChatGPT once when I write a script. I never used it because where's the creativity? I'm literally having arguments with my rental guys right now because I know they're using ChatGPT to send me emails because they can't be asked to actually speak to me like a human. I'm like, can you do me a favor, mate? By the way, like, don't put it through ChatGPT. Let's have a conversation, please. People hide. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. If you've got it's like everything in general is just like it's just worse. It's just worse. It just is. And
no, bro, but that's why I'm enjoying watching non-league now. I can't lie. No, I mean, I got a couple boys that played for my futsal team that play for hashtag in it, and I go and watch them. And honestly, them man are more skilled than guys playing in the Premier League. And I'm not even bullshitting you. Do you know what I'm saying? That's the level that them man should be at, really. Like when I go and watch Sak and Camilo, like Sak plays for Somalia, yeah. But bro, honestly, this brother is, bruv, what he's doing, yeah, in that league is a joke, bruv. What he's doing in that league is a joke. I'll be completely honest, bro. And I have to stand there and watch flipping Garnacho play for my team, bro. He ain't got feet like Sak. Nothing like Sak, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? And the thing is, Sak's only 21 as well, but he's roasting that league, bro. And it's his first season in that league because he was playing in the league below for another team. Hashtag scouted him at the end of the season when they got promoted, and he is absolutely cooking that league, bro. And he could easily be playing in the pros, easily. Do you know what I mean? And I'm watching man playing in the Premier League that can't go get past players. They can't take players on.
Do you remember Ed that played for me? Oh,
yeah.
Oh, God,
bro, but that's what I'm saying.
Oh, you see, it's like it's the way that some of these players play. It's like, why are you here? Like it was a nightmare, right? Ed left and went to do this stuff, and after Ed's second game for us, my dad went up to him and went, "You shouldn't be playing here." I was like, "What are you doing, Mario? Like, can you stop trying to tell my players not to play for me?" Like,
yeah, but that's the thing, though. But this is exactly the thing, though, bro. I'll be honest, yeah. It's that, bro. Like the reason why these lower league ballers are like this, because they're hungry, bro. They've got the hunger to improve, bro, because they're still trying to attain something. Do you know what I'm saying? And this is what it is. He's trying to attain something, bro. Like these men are playing, like these men train twice a week, and these men want to get better. They want to get scouted. So they're playing with a different hunger. They're not pulling out of challenges. Do you know what I'm saying? They're not doing all these things that you would expect. Like they're not doing it because these men are playing for something, even though these men are obviously making a decent amount of money for their age and stuff like that. Because, bro, to be honest, if you can be getting a bag a week or something, yeah, playing semi-pro, yeah, at like 20, 21, you're living life, bro. That's money, you know, like that. But the point is, these men are hungry. A lot of these men, yeah, are in higher levels. They're not hungry. They're not as skilled either, and there's zero humility, bro. There's no humility. These men think they're here already, bro. I'm tired of seeing it. Like even the Mudryk thing's crazy to me, because it's like you man had to have signed him off stats, because you didn't sign him off scouting him. Because even before you signed Mudryk, when Arsenal was linked with him, I watched clips of Mudryk on YouTube, and I was like, yeah, he's got something, but he ain't that good. Do you know what I mean? How you man parted with the amount of money that you parted with? I'm looking at Mudryk and I'm thinking, you know what, he's got something about him. If you can get him for a cheeky 25 million, like, and then you can give him time, fair enough.
But that's the problem. Like Mudryk's, I feel like he's that sort of player. But then I think with the situation Chelsea have, right, what Mudryk needed was a decent winger in front of him, an older person to learn off of. I'm gonna be honest, Raheem Sterling ain't that guy. He's a backup dancer in a big team. Raheem Sterling. He's not someone who leads a team at all. Personally, that's how I feel when I watch him and how he acts. You know, when I watched him against Wolves and I see Enzo Fernandez out sprinting him, I'm like, what you do? You're the winger. You're the outlet. Why aren't you there? But he's wandering around, and it's like, you're not the person I'd want a player to learn off of. You know, what Mudryk needed someone in front of him, but then the issue was that Chelsea's whole model and what Todd Bowley and Bedad Eghbali want, the under 25s is sort of the holy grail of football. There's a really good thread, actually. I'll send it to you. You can have a read of it later. I don't agree with all of it. There's a lot of it where I think, you know, it's really important to read. It's on my Twitter, actually. Hang on, let me get it. Let me send it in now. But yeah, it's like, you know, people look at sort of like that'd be the holy grail of football, and then Chelsea, you're doing their whole amortization contracts and all this sort of stuff, right? The issue with all of this was you're going to put a lot of pressure on people that aren't ready.
Yep. I hear it, but this is what I'm seeing that at my club right now, bro. Like the thing is, it's got to the point where, like, man will turn around and say, "Oh, but Rants, they're young, they need time." Cool, they can have time, but not at my club. Send them out on loan. Do you know what I'm saying? Because the thing is, yeah, when they project on these players, yeah, and they want them to be something that I can see with my two eyes that they don't have the capability to be, it's not fair on us, and it's not fair on them either. Exactly. Do you know what I mean? It's not fair on these players. Like, go out, learn your trade. When you're ready, you come back, bro. That's what players used to do. Players like Jesse Lingard and all these other guys. Even you can go back as far as David Beckham going to Preston and that, bro. These guys went out on loan. Do you know what I mean? I see the old video of Jack Grealish at Notts County. You know what I'm saying? Like out on loan at Notts County, like while he was at Villa. Like, bro, this is man used to go out and learn the game, and now you're throwing these guys in at the top level. They're not ready. You're putting them on big money, and then their social media profile's blown up, and you're using these guys as poster boys for the club and the PR and all of that. It's getting to their head, bro, and they're not focusing on their football no more.